Luis Díaz's transfer saga explodes as Liverpool reject Bayern Munich's bold move. Reds respond with immediate, uncompromising answer amid contract controversy. The summer transfer window was always bound to bring high drama to Anfield, but few could have predicted just how central Luis Díaz would become to the unfolding saga. With the window heating up and elite European clubs circling like vultures, Bayern Munich made their intentions crystal clear. They wanted Liverpool's Colombian dynamo to fill the void left by Leroy Sané's departure. But Liverpool's answer? A swift, unapologetic rejection. Bayern's sporting director Max Eberl personally reached out in recent days, hoping to tempt the Reds with a lucrative offer for Díaz. The German powerhouse, reeling from setbacks in their pursuits of Florian Wirtz and other marquee attackers, saw Díaz as their ideal solution, an explosive winger in his prime, with the kind of flair and tenacity to revive Bayern's attacking edge. And yet Liverpool didn't hesitate. According to a bombshell report from The Times, Paul Joyce, the Merseyside club flat out refused to negotiate. Their stance has remained unchanged since Barcelona's failed bid earlier in the summer. Luis Díaz is not for sale. That unwavering position speaks volumes, especially in a window full of uncertainty. Díaz, now 28, has become a talismanic figure at Anfield, stepping up during some of the club's most turbulent periods, especially amid long-term injuries to key attackers. His tenacity, tactical intelligence, and ability to produce game-changing moments made him a favorite among fans, and a critical piece in Liverpool's attacking trident. But the story isn't so simple. Reports from Colombia suggest that Díaz is quietly unhappy behind the scenes. While Liverpool insists he's staying put, sources close to the player claim he's growing frustrated. At the heart of the tension, a lack of contract renewal talks. Despite his importance to the squad and consistent performances, there's been no formal offer of a new deal this summer, something Díaz reportedly expected. He's not pushing for a move. Not yet. But in the modern game, uncertainty breeds speculation, and speculation breeds pressure, especially when Europe's elite come calling. Barcelona had tested the waters earlier this summer, floating a potential bid that was also swiftly rejected by Liverpool. Financial constraints and shifting priorities have since seen the Catalan club back away from the chase. But Bayern's entry into the fray has reignited the flames and raised new questions about Díaz's future. Will Liverpool's resolve hold firm all summer? Can the club keep one of their best players happy without offering him a new deal? Or will this situation spiral into a classic modern-day standoff between player power and club strategy? Arne Slot, the newly appointed Liverpool manager, is reportedly a major admirer of Díaz and sees him as a core piece of the squad going forward. But in his first transfer window at the helm, he faces the kind of challenge that can define a manager's early tenure, keeping top talent satisfied while fending off multi-million-pound offers from Europe's elite. This is no longer just about transfers. It's about Liverpool sending a message to Bayern, to Barcelona, to Díaz himself. You don't just walk into Anfield, walk away with one of its stars. Not without a fight, and as the summer unfolds, all eyes will be on Díaz. His form, his mood, and whether Liverpool can back up their words with action. Because sometimes a transfer battle isn't just about money. It's about principle, identity, and the kind of unwavering resolve that defines a club like Liverpool. Luis Díaz's journey at Liverpool has never lacked excitement. But now the dynamic Colombian winger stands at a pivotal crossroads, with just 2 years remaining on the contract he signed upon his arrival from Porto in January 2022. The whispers of a potential exit are growing louder by the day. The summer transfer window has become a stage for speculation, fueled by Díaz himself admitting that talks with other clubs are underway. Even as he insists he remains happy at Anfield. "I'm very happy at Liverpool," Díaz assured reporters. "Last month, while on international duty, they've treated me well since the first day. We're talking with other clubs. the transfer window. It's normal. If Liverpool renews my contract, or if I have to stay the 2 years I have left, I'll be happy. It's up to them. And yet, despite this calm and diplomatic front, there's an undeniable storm brewing behind the scenes. Liverpool's stance, unshaken. The club has reportedly rejected Bayern Munich's approach for Díaz, signaling their intention to keep the forward at Anfield this summer. However, the cracks are beginning to show not just in the negotiations, but in the role Díaz now plays within the team at 28. Díaz is no longer the exciting young upstart who exploded onto the Premier League scene with pace, flair, and a touch of the spectacular. He is now a player entering what should be the peak years of his career. Yet, Liverpool appears reluctant to offer him a new long-term deal, possibly seeing him as someone they might soon be looking to replace rather than build around. And the signs are already there. Cody Gakpo, younger and increasingly trusted by the coaching staff, has been deployed more regularly on the left-wing Díaz's preferred position. As fans and pundits alike begin to question whether the Colombian still has a central role at Liverpool, the narrative is quickly shifting from "will he stay?" to "when will he go?" This script explores the complexity of Díaz's current situation, the emotions, the contracts, the competition, and the crossroads. Why are Liverpool so unwilling to renew his contract? What are the implications for Arne Slot's system? What does it mean for the club's future strategy in the transfer market? And most importantly, how does Díaz himself feel, torn between loyalty, professional ambition, and the realities of elite football? Full 5,000-word script beginning of main article. Note: you've asked for only the welcome and hook line to be 5,000 words. Typically, hook plus welcome is 200 to 500 words in journalism. But based on your format, you seem to be referring to a longer opening section that deeply sets the tone and narrative. Below is the beginning of the full long-form script that continues. From the welcome, Chapter 1. The calm before the storm when Luis Díaz arrived at Liverpool in January 2022 was a breath of fresh air. Signed from Porto in a deal worth around £37.5 million plus add-ons, the Colombian instantly became a fan favorite. His tenacity, flair, and relentless work rate made him a perfect fit for Jurgen Klopp's high-intensity system. He wasn't just a squad player, he was a game changer. In his first 6 months, Díaz helped push Liverpool toward an unlikely quadruple pursuit, playing a vital role in their domestic cup triumphs and Champions League run. Fast forward 2.5 years, and the picture is much murkier. The departure of Klopp, the arrival of new manager Arne Slot, a younger generation breaking through, and a transfer policy driven by long-term financial caution have all conspired to place Díaz in an awkward limbo. He's not being pushed out, not yet, but he's certainly not being embraced as a cornerstone of the future either, for a player of Díaz's quality. That uncertainty is deeply unsettling. Chapter 2. The Díaz Dilemma Performance. V. Planning Luis Díaz ICNT, a fringe player. Last season, he made 37 Premier League appearances, starting 28 of them. He scored 8 goals and registered 5 assists. Not staggering numbers, but consistent enough for a wide forward. He played key minutes in Europe and remained an integral part of Liverpool's attacking threat. Yet, when you look closer, the signs of change are there. Cody Gakpo, signed from PSV in January 2023, has steadily grown into his role and seems to be Slot's preferred option on the left flank. Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota continue to rotate centrally, while Mohamed Salah remains untouchable on the right. For now, that leaves Díaz once guaranteed to start in the biggest matches, fighting for his place in a system that may no longer revolve around his strengths. And then there's his age. At Arshabai, Díaz is heading into what should be his prime. But from Liverpool's perspective, offering him a long-term extension could be risky business. If he signs a 5-year deal now, he'll be 33 by the end of it. That's not exactly aligned with a club that increasingly leans on data and long-term squad planning. So what does Liverpool do? Renew and commit to Díaz into his Saint-Germain, or hold off and risk losing a valuable asset next year, or worse, for free in 2026. Chapter 3. The Contract Conundrum. Words that matter Díaz. As comments during the summer international break were calm but telling. There was no dramatic announcement, no direct criticism, just a soft acknowledgement that he and his team are talking with other clubs and that he's happy at Liverpool. But buried within that diplomatic language is a message. Luis Díaz wants clarity. Either he gets a renewed commitment or he begins to look elsewhere. And who can blame him? He's 28. He's entering the best years of his career. It's delivered on the pitch. And yet, while Liverpool continues to offer extensions to younger stars like Harvey Elliott or Curtis Jones, Díaz waits. Liverpool fans might remember how similar situations unfolded with players like Gini Wijnaldum and Emre Can, both key players. Both left without a renewal. Both walked out when their contracts expired. Could Díaz be the next name added to that list? Chapter 4. Bayern and the bidders. Who wants Díaz? Bayern Munich's recent inquiry isn't an isolated incident. Several European clubs have been monitoring Díaz's situation. Barcelona reportedly made soft inquiries earlier this year, while Paris Saint-Germain, always on the lookout for explosive wide forwards, have also been linked. But Bayern's interest was real enough to warrant an official approach, and Liverpool's response was equally real, a firm no. Still, interest like that doesn't fade easily. And the more Díaz plays without a new deal in hand, the more his value drops. Liverpool may have rejected Bayern now, but if the player pushes, or if other clubs come knocking with significant offers, the stance could shift. The worst-case scenario: losing Díaz without a suitable replacement ready, or worse, for free. Arne Slot's vision. Where does Díaz fit? Arne Slot's arrival at Liverpool was intended to usher in a new tactical era. The Dutchman's Feyenoord teams were built on pressing width and intelligent movement, all qualities that Díaz possesses. But Slot also favors positional flexibility and younger, moldable players who can grow into his philosophy. Cody Gakpo, at 25, seems to fit that profile better. So does Darwin Núñez, with his raw physicality and potential. Díaz, in contrast, is a more polished product, dynamic, but possibly less adaptable. If Slot wants to build a side for the next 5 years, does he see Díaz as part of that picture? Only time and transfer moves will tell. Fan reactions and club legacy. Among Liverpool supporters, opinion is split. Some see Díaz as an essential player, a fighter, and a natural successor to Sadio Mané's legacy. Others believe his output doesn't justify a long-term investment and feel that Gakpo offers more consistency. But one thing's clear: if Díaz leaves this summer, especially without a clear replacement, the fallout could be significant. His connection with the fans, his work ethic, and his big game temperament make him more than just another squad member.